Oh my goodness. They've actually done it. They actually are in the grand finals of VCT Americas. Now, let's rewind a little bit back because I just want to talk about kind of like where NRG was like way before this stage, and I just wanted to talk about like the FNS kind of like last dance that kind of didn't happen. And I just want to say to that I mean that kind of took the wind out of me for like the whole season. Like the fact that they weren't able to, win games except for like some really bad ones. Like that just took so much out of me. Like not having a team that was like good in the last like 2 seasons really didn't make like the experience like better, like prime, like optic, like when they were at the top and they were like the best. Even that first like Valorant season of franchising, like NRG were good, so like following VCT was like super exciting. Then kind of like they weren't good, and I just kind of accepted that your team is not like always like the best or on top, and that's fair. But them, you know, basically not having any sort of like presence on kickoff stage or stage one again took the wind out of the year. So I was just kind of like covering like everything just because like I want you guys have the stuff to watch too. Just because I'm a little disheartened by the season doesn't necessarily mean that like, oh, I'm gonna stop covering. Like I still love the game. I mean, there's still some people that I like rooting for. Like yes, G2, amazing team. Like I wouldn't call them my favorite team, but yeah, they're an America's team that I definitely want to see succeed, and I'm invested from all the way back in the guard days. So I do want them like finish their story at some point. But man, them being in grand finals is NRG being in grand finals is amazing. Like I did not expect this, and I just want to start like from the bottom of this roster and kind of go up. Not that there's anyone at the bottom, but I guess FNS being retired kind of show opened up the way for this to happen. So shout out FNS for retiring. You did, I guess, the right thing for the team instead of trying to like save it at the very end. You knew your time was up, so appreciate you. Shout out Goat. You're probably not watching this, but shout out Goat. But then Scuba came in, and I was like, you know what? It's gonna take a little bit of time for these rookies, Brock and Scuba, to kind of get like used to the stage, and it just didn't happen. Like they were just like they were on fire. They were on it, and them going 4-1 during the season was incredible. Stage 2 was epic, and I didn't want to get my hopes up because I always get my hopes up for this team, and then something happens. But man, them losing to G2, I was like, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. I mean, they're a great team, but it's not like these were like, you know, ass kickings either. You got a 7-13 on Bind, you got an 11-13 on Sunset, and a 13-10 on Corrode. Like that's nothing to scoff at, especially and I know like G2 had Baby Bay and now they have Leaf, and so it's gonna be a little harder this time around in the grand finals. But yeah, them beating Leviatan with Sato, and they didn't just beat Leviatan, they whooped Leviatan's ass. Only 4 rounds in 2 maps is fucking crazy. Then that C9 match had me absolutely going insane. Just because like I really thought like C9 possibly could have won. Like after that first map, I was nervous. I was shaking in my boots. Then Lotus happened, but then Corrode. Corrode is just, they have locked in on Corrode in a way that is inexplicable. They're really good at it. And the Waylay, although I think it's a little weird, and I mean, obviously I'm not a coach or anything, so whatever. I think Jet would be better, but man, Mada makes Waylay look like an insane character. And then going into the Sentinels game, I was happy. When they qualified for champions, I was satisfied with the result. I was like, you know what? We're playing with house money at this point. If they win, they win. If they don't win, who cares? We're champions. Like they've turned the whole year around to finally be at this one point. And it's legitimately one of the best feelings. I haven't had this feeling for Valorant in months. It's so crazy to see this team, back where everyone projected them to be at the beginning of season. That's where they are now. And it's the perfect time to be heating up. The game against Sentinels that just happened here a couple of hours ago. I mean, come on, dude. I was at work, so I was like secretly like watching the game here and there while I was watching, so I didn't get to watch the whole thing. And then they did a great job on Lotus and Icebox. I didn't watch the whole thing, but super happy that they were able to win those two maps. I watched Sunset. I kind of knew that they were going to lose Sunset. They haven't looked the best on that map. Sentinels have been like one of the first teams who were like really on Sunset. Kaplan like knows that map very well. And it definitely showed on that third map that they have a great read on that map. So compliments to Sentinels for just being like super aware of that map. Corrode, I mean, 11-1 is crazy. Like I said about the C9 match, they have a perfect read on Corrode. Obviously, there's still stuff to fix because there's no way you're at 11-1 and then you let Sentinels come back that hard. But they were able to wrap it up after a timeout. I mean, it's like FNS said on his watch party, like the correction by Bonker got them to the victory. I know I forgot to like talk about like the rest of the other players, but let me just go back and just quickly go over the roster because I think everyone is playing incredible Valorant. I already talked about Scuba being a great addition, being that missing element of the firepower that this team needed. Mada is just insane with the op. He moves incredible with Waylay. Like Neon, he's super versatile. Like he is the duelist that we needed on this team, and he was just missing all the other parts around him. Brock has been an absolute fucking monster for the whole split. The whole split, specifically playoffs. They keep saying the Odin is a broken gun, and Brock keeps showing that that's the case, but then he has some incredible clutches on the Phantom too. So this guy is just he's peaking. Maybe I don't know if he's peaking. Maybe this is just the Brocktagon, like everyone keeps saying. Like he's incredible. Huge shout out to Brock. There's definitely no way we 3-1 Sentinels without him. Just great player. Don't really have much to say other than like I hope he's the vibes guy in that circle. It seems like that's who he would be, and he's playing amazing. Ethan, oh my god, IGL. I'm sorry I doubted you, GOAT. I doubted at the beginning of the season. I mean, if you go back and watch the haters guide, I just put like no. It was just like I don't care. I just don't care about the team. I don't care about the season. Like it's a wash, and then they come back and. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I apologize for what I said about Ethan in the previous times. I don't apologize for what happened with the super team last year or a couple of years ago at this point. I'm not apologizing for that. That was a shit show. But this was he completely turned it around. And I don't know if it's Sam and Ethan or a combination of Bonker just switching the IGLing format for Ethan. But he's been frying. He's been one of the best players on this team. And I know maybe I've said that about like everyone already on this team except for maybe Sam, but like really everyone is just hitting their stride, and it's the perfect time to be doing it because Champions is coming up and there's going to be some dangerous fucking teams in this tournament. And I know that they, even if they don't win tomorrow, that they'll be able to do some damage at least. And going to the Champions, I feel like it's going to be the same thing. Now, in the excitement of them winning against Sentinels this well, I actually bought a ticket to go watch the grand final tomorrow. So I'll be going to the Riot Games Arena in Los Angeles to watch the grand final between NRG and G2. So if you're there, come say hi. Keep an eye on the community post. I might have to re-download Twitter to like... So follow me on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description. So if you want to meet up before the game and just chat, or... I mean, I don't really think I'm that big of a deal to be doing that. But if you happen to be there, just come say hi. You know, we'll talk a little bit about the rest of the stuff going on in VCT Americas. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna make a video about like my trip, my last minute trip, but I got a ticket. I'm on the outside viewing, so it's fine. But still, like they're gonna have the interviews. They're gonna have, you know, a bunch of stuff on the outside block party thing. So I definitely want to be there to watch them. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I haven't said anything about this team up to this point. There's no expectations. I'm going there for the vibes, to see them play, to see them compete against G2 and see like how much they've improved since their last match. And I feel like they should have won the last match against G2, but here's hoping. I'm not gonna say that they're going to do it, but it would be incredible to be there and see them win. Okay, yeah. VCT Americas Grand Final tomorrow. If you're there at the Riot Games Arena, come say hi to me. Otherwise, deuce.